Hey guys, welcome. As you can see here, we've got a big pile of dirt. Kind of symmetrical, isn't it? It's got kind of like, it's a rectangle, but kind of curved. And today, if you guys remember, this is Mike. Mike, say hello to everyone.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
All right, so this is Mike, and if you remember, he's done a couple videos with me. He's done the conversation with a veteran, and I was telling you about the channel that he's going to start, Faith to Farm, and this is going to be your guys' first look at Faith to Farm, and then we'll post a link so you guys can get subscribed and just see. And this is basically him telling you what it's about. We're going to show you the garden that he's going to be working on, well, at least one of the gardens that he's going to be working on and featuring on his channel. Let's go ahead and give people a chance to come in first, though. It's a beautiful day out, though.
It is. Nice overcast spring day in California.
Yes, it is. Now, let me put, there we go. Just in case someone starts talking. Alright, so yeah, why don't you, oh, now let's give people a chance to come in first. So far it doesn't look like anyone's in. Anyway, here's a look at the garden real quick. Just close before we're going to get a closer look at it. This is just what it looks like from here. And Michael's telling me he's working on a few gardens. And he's going to discuss that a little bit. That's what we're going to be discussing. The garden right there. Faith to Farm. New YouTube channel. Hopefully it'll be successful.
No hope. It's going to be successful.
Well, there we go. That's the way to look at it. Alright. Mike's here. We have one person watching. Hello. Welcome. Alright, so why don't you go ahead and give us a basic overview of what can be expected from Faith to Farm.
Well, I mean, there really is no expectation. It's real simple. We all have to eat. And the nourishment of our bodies is most important these days because it provides a stronger immune system. So if you're really concerned about your health and well-being more so than just regular days, now with a heightened level of viruses in our environment, we must build our immune system. And the best way to do that is with what you put in your mouth and eating and drinking clean water. And so the idea of having the faith to farm really synthesizes that on a daily basis.
Great. Hey, hello, Miss Jarhead. Hello, Jane. Jane Ann Quiro says she's planning on doing a raised planter. Great. So what are you gonna put in there? You should here. We're gonna just take a quick look. This is his plant. He's got a garden here going. This is just one of the gardens he helps maintain. And in a little bit, we're gonna go in. He's gonna tell us what he's got going, how things are going. You see the tomato. Obviously, you can see he has tomatoes. He uses a little tomato. I don't know what you call those. Tomato.
They're tomato cages.
Cages. There we go. Thank you. Tomato cages. What's up, Jarhead? Welcome. All right. So, tell us a little bit about your background when it comes to the agriculture.
Well, the real background that I have in agriculture is, with my grandmother in her garden. As early as I can remember, in Vallejo, California, we would spend time over the summers with my grandmother, and I was the one who wouldn't leave her side. And so, from the time, I'm sure I had on diapers and, with the pins in them, and I would help fertilize the garden, I'm sure. But no, collard greens, onions, black-eyed peas, speckled butter beans, a thing we call out here a muscadine. It's a type of grape that grows in the South. Far as I can remember, that was part of my life. And I always enjoyed spending time with my grandmother because when we go there, the fresh vegetables is what I crave. And so as I got older, I didn't have to wait to go to grandma's. I started growing it myself in the backyard of the house that I lived in. And my mother and my father, they weren't gardeners. I was the gardener. And they left me alone, and I did what I did in the backyard.
Okay, great. So is that has to do with a lot of the reasoning? Well, that's why you love to do the gardening What are some of the reasons behind you wanting to do this YouTube channel?
Well, the reason why I want to do the YouTube channel is it's really now it's the industry, and we have epidemic levels of diet-related disease, not just here in the United States, but throughout the world. And it's really incumbent upon us to go back to what I experienced as a young toddler in my grandmother's garden. And that will provide better health outcomes for people. So instead of just talking about it, instead of just going to Washington D.C. changing public policy, now we're moving into the area of having the faith to farm. Whether you have a planter in your front yard or backyard as part of your patio, or whether you dig up some of your grass and have a 4x8 raised bed, or whether you turn your backyard into a garden, or whether you have 5 acres or 10 acres, or if you really get busy and decide you want to go into farming, there's plenty of land, 100 acres. I mean, you could make $1 million a year if you know what you're doing in agriculture.
This is true. All right, so not only this garden, but there's a few other gardens that you're going to feature on your channel, correct?
Oh yeah, we have gardens. I'm part of several networks. The Sacramento Gardening Society. There's Black Farmers. There's Urban Agriculture. There's a plethora of people getting back into gardening. So the idea now is to how do we help others have the faith to farm, and we're focusing on right now on the faith-based community, different churches, different denominations. A lot of churches have land. They are, giving people boxes of produce, not always the healthiest food. You need to augment that with fresh fruits and vegetables. And so we're asking those leaders, do they have the faith to farm? Are they going to actually live some of the principles in the books of their faith? Dress and keep the garden. Well, where's the garden? You have no garden. Do you have the faith to farm? Pastor, rabbi, people of different faiths, the Buddhists, whether you're Mormon, it doesn't matter. Where's your garden? So we're going to encourage that kind of question so people can have better health outcomes, because I don't want to hear about my friends dying and they didn't have to die because their immune system was depleted. I've had too many phone calls over the last couple of weeks where people across the country didn't have to die, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, so you ready to take a look at this garden?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, what's happening right here is soil. This is chicken manure. This is just from the store, garden soil. And we have sand here, and that's what I do. I sit here and mix and make my own mix depending on what I'm growing. Some needs more sand, some needs more. Depending on what you're growing, the soil is not one size fit all. What you're growing dictates what kind of soil is going to be needed. So here we have lemon trees, lemongrass. In this pot here, underneath the tree, we are starting some cactuses, and we have some in the kitchen. Some of the garlic went to sprout, so we're just, developing the roots, and then we'll throw it in the ground. But that's, here I don't water, but I put the water in here, and then all we're trying to do is get these roots to start, and then we'll break these apart, and each one of these will be a garlic, and I'll show you later what happens to this. And then we got strawberries. This is lemongrass. We're going to plow this up later today and put all these babies over here. All we want to do is get the roots stronger, and then we'll put them in the ground. So we don't just plant the seed and hope the seed doesn't germinate. We'll know in this pot, and we ain't got to worry about it. And then some things, are just like experiments. Like here, these are leeks. And I'm just growing these so I can get some leek seeds, so I don't have to go to the store and buy them.
Good idea.
Well, I mean, you can. And in here, these are from a muscadine tree, and they don't look like they're going to make it, but they may. We're going to find out. These are just cuttings from a vine, and I'm trying. If I have rooting compound, they would have made it, but I have rooting compound. They're just in the dirt. But here you have, like right here, these are cucumbers, and something is eating it. I like when the bugs start eating it because I know it's nice and healthy. They're eating it, so I'm going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then these rows here are intentionally left fallow right now, and I'm going to get the rotor tiller out, or I might dig. I don't feel like digging. It's hot. But those that are over there look like they're dying. When I put them in the ground with some roots, they're gonna take off. They're not dying.
No, yeah.
I'm growing the roots.
It's just been hot lately.
Well, I'm growing the roots. See, that's the reason why most plants don't survive is because we overwater.
True.
But if you strengthen the roots, the plants are gonna grow. You don't have to worry about that. Photosynthesis happens. The sun is hot here in Sacramento. It's gonna get 100 degrees. I'm not worried about the leaf growth. I'm worried about can they get the nutrients out the soil.
That's a good point.
So here's the garlic that you've seen. This is the garlic, and I'm gonna put them in the ground, and it'll be garlic.
Right.
And these here onions that are going to seed, that's kale, chard, the sunflowers. Everybody thought these were gonna die. I'm just growing these for seed. There's just 2 of them.
All right, you're on sunflower seeds. That's what's up.
There'll be enough seeds here to put this whole place in sunflowers.
Or munch on.
Well, these are ornamental. I have some that are for eating, but these are ornamental. They brighten up the day.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning and there's some flowers there. You put a smile on your face, and then you start your day.
Yeah, sunflowers are beautiful flowers.
It's the little things that really matter in life. So, a fresh lemon, a little zest of lemon in your water in the morning. If you have coffee, if you like coffee, a little sprig of cinnamon if you have it. I mean, it's heavenly.
Yes.
So here we have, down here, these are my babies down here. This is thyme. This is like, tarragon. That's like amazing. The flavors. Oh my God. And this is organic. Everything here is organic. We don't use any sort of fertilizer. Last year, my understanding was nothing was in this garden. So, the chances of there being poison in the soil is next to none because they wouldn't.
Well, what was the soil composition like when you first started this?
Well, it was just weeds. And maybe we'll show some pictures. I took pictures of the progression. You really want to wait until the soil temperature is right before you really grow. But we started babies and seedlings and stuff like that.
Okay.
But here, these are zucchini. You can look down in here; it's ready to pop. You can see down in here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna fertilize.
You should do cucumbers too. Cucumbers are really good here.
Over here.
Oh, nice.
And everything, as you see, the soil is really wet right now because that's what I want to do. And then I'm gonna start starving the plants and make it go down to get the water, because it's gonna get hot here in the next few days. It's gonna be.
No, it's gonna be in the 70s. It's gonna be in the 70s this week.
The whole week?
The whole week. It's supposed to rain on Sunday.
Well, this is mid-May in Sacramento, and I'm planning on heat.
Oh, it's gonna heat back up, that's for sure. But this week's gonna be nice.
Yeah. So this row and here, as you see, it's a lot of weeds in here, and I want the weeds there right now.
And of course, we got the bees in here. They're coming.
Oh yeah, the pollination.
That's good.
Magic. That's a wasp.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, those, and there's a hive, and that's okay. I mean, you need to pollinate, and the fact that some places it's a problem with the bees because of some people say poison, some people say, hey, it's climate change. It's just the environment as a whole is changing, and the ants, the frogs. I haven't heard a frog all year. It kind of scares me. I want to hear frogs. I want to hear ribbit. I want to hear bullfrog. We have a big field next to us. Used to be pheasants would come when you cut the grass. I haven't even seen any bird. I don't even hear a bird chirping. Well, there's one.
No, there's birds.
Well, there's not enough.
I don't know. People here on my channel know all about birds.
Yeah,
they're tyrants, so
Well, we need them.
We do, but they're still tyrants.
Oh, they are. So here, this was again an experiment. All these are. You can see one. This one, it might make it. These are clippings. A friend of mine had some grapevines, and we just went and clipped them, and I brought them here to see if they'll root. I didn't have any rooting compound because I score and then put rooting compound. Hopefully they'll root, but I can pull this one out. So I just scored it. It grew, and in the sun baked it. I should have took it out the sun, but hey, I didn't get up. Do what I was supposed to do. But then here, this is moringa.
This is a tree. This again, it's a cutting off of a tree, and this one made it. This one didn't make it, but this tree here will be 4 or 5 feet by the end of this summer.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, here this will be rototilled up. We'll put the chicken manure in it, and I don't know what happened here, but you know,
egg.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so I don't know if it was a duck or what. Something dropped the egg here, or something brought it over here and ate it. I don't know. But the idea, this is grass clippings, and most people want to throw this away. But if I like keep this wet and turn it, you see it's already starting to decompose.
Yeah, it is.
And if you turn it, you see what's in here, bugs, and then you mix this into your soil, and then you have, see down in here?
Yeah.
And if you wet it, it'll get hot with the heat. And this right here is the best food, because this decomposing grass will feed your plants. Not all of them, some of them.
All the decomposing plants are what make the redwoods grow big and strong. So your garden will grow big and strong as well.
And because I like to eat. But you see all the blossoms on the tomatoes?
Yeah.
And I'll get down there and start cutting some of the early growth and encourage new growth, because the new growth is going to bring new tomatoes.
Right.
And then right down here, this was donated, so I put what's in there? Onions.
Oh, nice.
And so each one of those, I think it's like a 200 little separate, for starters they call them. I try to put 2 or 3 seeds in each one.
Right.
If I put 4, if I put 2, or if there's 1, or if there's none, there'll still be enough onions to go with the tomato.
All right, guys. So this is one of the gardens he's working on. This is just one of the gardens that he's going to be featuring on his channel. You see it's coming together. You guys will be able to watch it grow. On his channel, you'll be able to see some other pictures of what it looked like before, and you guys can follow it if you guys are into gardening. And there'll always be a lot of information on his channel in regards to not just gardening, but he's a wealth of information on many subjects, and I'm sure he is not afraid to broach any subject that would come up or you guys would have a question on. While we're at that, do you guys have any questions you guys would like to ask him while he is out here about the garden, or about what he's plans for his channel, or anything like that? All right, we got a thumbs up from Jane.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, make sure you guys smash that like button for the people that are in here. We got 29 people in here and only 4 likes. That's not good. We don't like that.
Let me give them that good side, and then they'll like that.
There you go.
That's
there
the
you
good
go.
side.
That's a good side.
Well, and we say it's gardening because this is what we have right now. And some of the sites are a little larger. We have this project. It's probably 120 acres, and hopefully they'll agree with Faith to Farm, and we'll use that. But California is the largest ag economy in the United States, and the working landscape, as it's called, is $333 billion.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
And that's agriculture, that's forestry, that's fishing, that's flowers. It's the industry. And $333 billion is really a conservative number. I think it's much more than that myself. When you add the trucking, you add the shipping of foreign products. Right now, a lot of restaurants are closed, so a lot of farms have to recreate what they do. But locally, I mean, everybody can't just, pay the money to drive to a restaurant and then run it out, bring it to you. So, why not have your salad in your backyard?
True.
And, if you want to barbecue, barbecue for the week, maybe share it with your neighbors. But the idea that we want fresh fruits and vegetables, it's not coming because, the distribution systems have been changed because of the COVID virus.
Yes.
And do you really want some COVID on your lettuce? I mean, we had problems with lettuce before the COVID virus.
We did.
So the idea now is, hey, whoa, in the warehouse, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, the meat is, contaminated. I don't have the answers, because I don't know the whole problem. But when they tell you that the meat packing facility, the people at the facility have the virus, well, they was touching the meat. Well, how long ago? Or which lots? I mean, I don't know.
All right, so we have a question from Jimmy Thomas. Jimmy Thomas wants to know the grass mulch method. How long does the grass clips take for it to get to molt?
Well, it depends on how hard you want to work. If you want to turn it and work the soil and, you know, actually throw a few worms in there or some garden waste. But for me, you know, you just kind of look like I wouldn't put this on my garden, but this down here, you know, I'd put this on. You know, you go down deep. You know, some of this stuff.
Yeah, you see all that steam coming out.
Yeah.
It's heating it up.
Some of this stuff is, you know, but again, you could put a thermometer on it and test it, or you could just trial and error.
Well, what's the temperature like? What you want to look for?
Well, I mean, if you put water on it and
you guys incubating something?
soil.
Soil.
Yes. Yeah. This is gonna be. This is our compost pile. This is just clippings from the grass.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're gonna make soil here.
Oh, cool.
Organic.
Hey, that's the way to go.
That's the only way to go.
It is.
I want to be healthy.
All right, so
Always good seeing you.
Yeah, I like
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
all right, so Jimmy also had another question. Can you put coffee grounds and eggshells in that method?
Yes, and coffee grounds, you gotta be careful with coffee grounds. You want them to start actually, like, what's the word? Deteriorate is what comes to mind, but you want it. You don't want the acid off of the grounds to like really get directly on the roots. It might kill them, depending on what you're going to put it on.
Okay.
So a good method is to let it sit for a while, let it turn green and get ugly. Put the coffee grounds in here, and we'll probably do that because we have some coffee grounds over there. They're in the bag, and we're like, did you use them yet? I said, no, they're still in the bag.
You got more coming too.
Well, we have a lot of
Coffee drinkers here.
coffee drinkers and a lot of opportunity for the soil.
Yeah.
The worms, just like we do, the worms will get that caffeine and go crazy, and so they'll move faster and they'll break down the soil. But you want to like mix it in. So if you have eggshells, if you have anything, no meat, into the compost pile.
All right, so Jimmy says less grounds and more eggshells. Great, and thanks.
Yes.
Glad I can help you with that, Jimmy. You a farmer, Jimmy? Or you like to do some gardening too? You got your own little garden? How many people here do gardening? How many people are gardening as like a passion of theirs? How many people do we have here that are really into gardening? So you got more little cages over there.
Yeah, and what's beautiful is don't do it by yourself. It's no fun doing it by yourself. Even if you're out there by yourself, call somebody, show somebody, share with them. It's like, hey, the tomato, my first tomato, and get excited and then bite into that first tomato. You will not want to go to the store once you taste a tomato that you grew. You're like, what is this thing I'm buying? Because it's nasty. You could taste the chemicals in the store tomatoes. Why? Because sometimes they're picked green and they're like they like turn them red.
Yeah.
In a big giant, you know, industrial machinery gas them. And anyway, I don't want to get too bad into it.
All right, so Vlad Gardens, he says. So anyone else have any gardening questions? Go back over there.
Yeah. These are the cucumbers here.
Oh,
And
I
they're-
love cucumbers.
Yeah, they're just, you can see how the leaves, and you can see down in here something is trying to get on them. I don't know what that is, but this right here, you see how healthy that is in
That's
there?
very healthy.
And something's eating the aphids that's eating the leaves. I'm like, hey, fine, eat the leaves, man. I know it's good. If the bugs eat it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna-
true.
I mean, that's just me. If
It's healthy
something-
enough for the bugs.
Well, yeah, it's like even the tomato might be a worm in it, right? Well, cut that side off. Eat the side. The worm is on one side.
Those are some nasty. The tomato caterpillars. Oh, those things are nasty.
Oh, but hey, guess what? If the tomato likes it, so like, look, you could tell they're supposed to be in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not worried about that right now. I want the roots. Let me show you. I want the roots. This is what I'm interested in. Look at that. Look at that root ball.
Yeah. That's
And so you rip this off right here.
Yeah.
And be nice.
Oh yeah. Look
And
at
then you
that.
cut this off and put it in the ground.
Yeah.
So that's what's gonna happen today or tomorrow. But you can see all of the babies. I mean, this is just.
So Jimmy had one more question.
Sure.
He said, how long does a 5'10", 200-pound male take to decompose? He's asking for a friend.
Well, depends if you have acid, depends if you have worms, the kind of worms. You get regulars, you know, I would say probably about 2 or 3 weeks.
There you go, Jimmy. Block off 2 or 3 weeks and tell yours, and go ahead and, tell your friend about that. So here we got some more stuff here.
Yeah, this right here, this is kind of like an experiment. These are corn that was volunteered, and the son got these. This is sugar cane, and as you see, some of them are making it, some of them aren't. But they're all gonna make it. I just have to, and this is my soup. I mean, it's really
Soupy.
funky, it's nasty. But this is what, these came from those. And some of these were donated by the Sacramento Gardening something or other. They donated these, and again, it looks like it's dying, and you know, I don't know what's on there, but this is fine. I'm gonna cut this off. This is what I'm after. Boom. Boom. It's ready to go in the sun.
Yeah, that's a nice root ball right there.
It's ready to go. And you know, then it's just gonna take off. These are beans, and I dug them up over here because I'm a rotor till. But I mean, it looks like it's dying, but it's not. And the soil is nice and moist, so it'll be fine. This right here is heavenly right here. People are like, what is this? This is lemongrass under the lemon tree. I mean, this tastes just like a lemon.
These are limes, aren't they?
These are lemons. So this one right here, and it's gonna turn. This is a lemon tree.
Oh, okay.
And limes won't get, well, most limes won't get this big.
Okay.
But this is a lemon tree. There was some lemons on there earlier this year.
They should make some lemonade. That's what they need to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna find out who built this and name this after them. And some of the rot here, we're gonna pull some of the rot, fix this, you know, maybe paint it inside. But the idea that we want to honor the person that put this, laid it out, and we just add to it,
Right.
make it more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. You know, that's one of the principles that we use, that we live by. One of the principles of first fruits of the harvest, and we're about to harvest them.
All right, guys. So you guys have it. You guys had a little tour of the garden. Well, one of the gardens he's going to be featuring on his channel. If there are any more questions while we're here, just leave this last bit of it for a little conversation. And Jimmy says, cool, respecting the past. And make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel. It is Faith to Farm. I will put a community post up for the link to it, so you guys could make sure you guys subscribe, so you guys could check out the videos if this is something you are interested in doing. He will have all kinds of stuff. You'll be able to see the progress of the garden, see how much it grows, and there will be pictures up of what it looked like before. And I'm sure he might even post a link to his Facebook page. I don't know, or he might create a Facebook page specifically for this, depending on whatever he feels like doing. I mean, it's his baby. He's been around with it. I'm just going to help him out. You know, see, this is a passion of his, and I'm like, you know, I think it's, you know, it's always good. He helps me out with mine, so I'm going to help him out with his. Sort of like a...
It's the funniest thing, because I didn't even know how to put together a YouTube channel. And, you know, I think it took you 5 minutes, you know, and then I got a YouTube channel. It's nothing up yet, but I have one. And I'm like, you know, I was texting some people. I was like, hey, I got to look out for this. So this month is Military Appreciation Month. And some friends that are veterans, they run a veteran farm group all around the nation. So, you know, today we got permission to come out here and do a little filming, so we're kicking it off. And then we're going to go all over Northern California and then around the world, Faith to Farm, focusing on veterans initially, and then just, hey, whoever has the faith to farm and likes to eat.
Great. So for everyone that's coming in, this is Mike. He will be doing a new YouTube channel, Faith to Farm. If you want to know what it's about, you guys can go ahead and go back to the beginning. I don't want him to have to keep repeating himself. So, but if there's any questions about any farming related questions or anything like that, you guys want to know about farming or maybe his involvement with the agricultural community or whatever, you guys can go ahead and ask those questions now while we have him here on live stream. And make sure you hit that like button.
Like us. We're friendly.
We're good guys.
And you might be hungry, and we can help.
Hey Denise, welcome. Denise says hi.
Hello, Denise.
You just missed it, Denise. We were just going on his garden. Here's a little quick look at it. But if you go back a little bit, you'll be able to see it. Jimmy would like to know, was there a rush to grow hemp in California?
Well, quiet as it kept, yes, to answer your question, but hemp and cannabis has been growing in California, let's just say when California was discovered. You know, this place is magical. There's so many different microclimates. The largest trees on the planet are
redwoods.
Here in California,
Redwoods.
the sequoia, and up the coastal redwoods. Underneath in that canopy, some of the most potent, some of the most tasteful cannabis is grown on the planet. Now, I mean, that's just not my cup of tea, because once or twice a year, but I can't get high. I'm crazy enough as it is. I get high, I'm out there. But growing hemp, it's an agricultural product. And cannabis, my understanding is that in hemp, there's not the properties that get you high, but it's an industrial crop where, George Washington, he was growing hemp. So now we're going back to a more sustainable way to, grow clothes, grow rope.
Hemp clothes, hemp rope, yep.
I believe it was Henry Ford who built cars out of hemp and ran it off of hemp oil.
Wow.
So there's all sorts of industries that can come from not just hemp, but I mean there's just so many different types of plants that can be grown to sustain our society.
All right, so Denise would like to know, can the coronavirus spread to meat or any other food? For instance, Tyson Food, farming, or warehouses?
Well, I think once we start using an industrial model, so you're in this huge building with, let's just say, 500 people and God knows how many animals coming through there, and a air-conditioned system where all this is circulating, I don't think we're going to be able to use that model unless we change the current method, because this virus, the molecules, I believe, are too small for the current system. This is my opinion, because it just doesn't make sense. So if you have smaller scale, locally produced foods and smaller butchering plants with your local, butcher like we used to have, I think you can eat that meat, and then it's more healthier for you, in my opinion. Grass-fed cow is probably more healthier than a corn-fed cow. You might want to finish it with corn to get the protein level up, but I want the cow moving and happy and walking around healthy, versus in a feedlot just down every day doing this.
Yeah, there's a lot of some people, I'm not sure myself, but some people can taste the difference between free range poultry and all that. And corn fed as opposed to grass fed. Difference in the flavor of the meat.
It's educating your palate. It's just like I'm sitting here just chewing on lemongrass. When you educate your palate, you'll taste the difference. It's just like, here in California, it's the wine industry. The sommeliers can taste the terroir, the dirt that the grapes are grown in. That's how, their palate has been cultivated, just like the crops or the grapes were cultivated. So yeah, you can taste the difference.
Yeah. And Jimmy, in to your question, the Cali wheat is pretty good here. We got the Emerald Triangle up here, where a lot of the good, I'd have to say probably used to come from. Now it's so typically freaking improved it so much where it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's freaking ridiculously powerful nowadays.
Yeah,
It's just way too potent. Just like,
well,
geez.
it's science, and you know, if you have, I mean, just think about it. You have an ocean breeze, and you have these big, tall redwood trees, 200 feet high, and you're in a canopy, diffuse light. It's ideal conditions for what you're growing because you want the resin off of the bud of the flower. You're not interested in the leaf.
Yeah.
But the idea now is in a greenhouse, and it's like, you know, different fertilizers. The buds be this big. I mean, like, what in the world? You gonna do what with that? I'm like, not me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Facebook. I'll go ahead and post my channel. I'm gonna make sure. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you. Audience to say nothing.